What you won't hear on the official broadcast: Ferrari arrives in Montreal already fractured, and Hamilton's doubts about the SF25 are no longer private. Behind the Polish press releases and rehearsed smiles, a cold war is brewing inside Ferrari. The scooter is forcing through last-minute upgrades that even its top engineers now privately dismiss. And Hamilton, his dream of a red revival, is fast becoming a public nightmare at a circuit where he once reigned supreme. But this is not just about an underperforming car. It's about politics, it's about power, and above all, it's about control of Ferrari's future. As Montreal approaches, Hamilton is fighting on two fronts: against rivals on track and against resistance within his own team. Officially, the Canadian GP will be sold as just another race. Unofficially, it's a battleground. Leclerc is positioning himself as the team's political favorite. Vasseur clings to fading optimism, engineers whisper of sabotage through misguided upgrades. And Hamilton, he knows this weekend could define not just his season, but his entire Ferrari chapter, because the cameras won't show what's really happening. But here we will. Hamilton asked Ferrari to stop wasting time. Marinello's answer doubled down on the impossible. Sources inside Ferrari revealed the moment that lit the fuse after the last GP. In a closed-door debrief, Hamilton was blunt. "Focus on 2026. This car won't win." His words were clear, but Fred Vasseur saw them as a challenge. Within days, the team rushed through a fragile decision: accelerate the Montreal upgrade package, new rear suspension, revised floor, even before full validation. The move split the team. Engineers voiced concerns. The SF25's core flaws wouldn't be solved by rushed hardware. Simulations suggested marginal gains at best. But the political message was louder than the technical one. "We cannot show defeat," one insider said. Hamilton, sensing the shift, now prepares to drive a car he no longer trusts, built with parts he never asked for. And behind the scenes, a deeper question emerges. Is this about performance or about silencing? The one voice pushing for a different future? Montreal is no longer a race. It's a test of power inside Ferrari, and the first shots have already been fired. Every lap Hamilton turns in Montreal will send a message not to Red Bull or McLaren, but to Ferrari itself. This Canadian GP won't be just another chapter in Ferrari's troubled season. Insiders say Hamilton's relationship with the team has entered open conflict. After pushing to shift focus to 2026, he now faces a team desperate to prove him wrong. Even at the cost of internal harmony, Vasseur bets that these rushed upgrades can spark a mid-season revival. But engineers know better. The SF25 is a concept running on empty. Every additional euro spent now is a euro stolen from next year's car. And Hamilton knows it. He's no longer fighting for podiums. He's fighting for Ferrari's long-term survival and his own credibility within the team. Meanwhile, Leclerc plays a political game. Comfortable with the car's quirks and with management backing, he subtly frames Hamilton's demands as defeat. The paddock whispers, "Leclerc protects the present, Hamilton fights for the future." As the lights go green in Montreal, expect more than racing. Expect coded radio messages set up, choices that defy team guidance, and a silent struggle for the soul of Ferrari played out at 300 kilowrights. The data doesn't lie, and what it's screaming now is a story of political survival, not technical progress. Insiders at Marinello admit it behind closed doors. The SF25 has hit a hard ceiling, the much-hyped new rear suspension and floor. On paper, they promise rear-end stability. But in reality, the telemetry reveals a harsher truth. Any gain will be marginal, perhaps imperceptible in race trim. Hamilton's engineers privately acknowledge this. The core floor unpredictable rear rotation under load persists, and worse, the Montreal-specific setup compromises mechanical grip to chase an illusion of aerodynamic balance. It's smoke and mirrors, one source said, designed to save face, not win races. Yet the team pushes ahead publicly. Optimistic, privately divided, Hamilton sees it clearly that upgrades aren't about performance. They're about maintaining a narrative. One where Ferrari is still fighting, and where internal dissent can be dismissed as negativity. But the numbers tell a different story, and Hamilton knows every tenth he loses this weekend will be used against him, not by rivals, but by his own team. Inside Marinello's corridors, a dangerous narrative is taking hold. Leclerc protects the project, Hamilton wants to tear it down. As the SF25 stagnates, so does the relationship between Ferrari's star drivers. Leclerc, with 3 podiums and a familiar driving style, has become the face of what still works in the car. Hamilton, meanwhile, faces a chassis that punishes his precision and a team unwilling to confront its design failures. Sources describe rising tension. During recent technical meetings, Hamilton openly questioned why development continued on a platform fundamentally flawed. The clerk countered, defending the ongoing updates. "We can still fight this season," he said, a line that resonated politically if not technically. The result? A growing rift. Engineers now find themselves subtly split. Some align with Leclerc's pragmatism. Others sympathize with Hamilton's brutal honesty. The media won't say it, but Ferrari is no longer one team. It's two camps fighting for control of its future. And as Montreal looms, every on-track move will reflect this deeper battle for influence, for survival, for legacy. Fred Vasseur, the last optimist, increasingly isolated under pressure and betting his future on Montreal. As Montreal approaches, Ferrari's internal power map grows more volatile. Vasseur publicly insists the SF25 still holds potential, but insiders say that has behind closed doors. He's standing alone. Senior engineers, some with decades in Maranello, now privately agree with Hamilton. The car is conceptually broken. The rushed decision to bring the new suspension and floor to Canada. Pure politics, originally slated for Silverstone, then Austria. The updates were accelerated under mounting pressure, not technical readiness. The message to Hamilton was clear: we will not concede defeat, but this move has backfired. Engineers resent the timeline. Some fear reputational damage if the package flops on one of F1's toughest tracks, and Hamilton's sources reveal he's refused to endorse the upgrade internally. His stance: "I'll drive what you give me, but I won't sell it as progress." Vasseur now faces a silent rebellion. If Montreal fails, the fallout won't just be technical, it will be political, and the cracks in Ferrari's unity will become impossible to hide. Behind the scenes, Hamilton is preparing a counterattack, and Montreal will be just the opening move. Sources close to Hamilton reveal a critical shift. In recent days, he's moved to assert control over his race weekend. During pre-Canada briefings, he reportedly clashed with senior engineers over car setup and strategy. His message was unambiguous: "You prepare the car as you see fit, but on track, the decisions will be mine." Translation: expect Hamilton to override instructions if necessary. Insiders say he's determined to expose the SF25's limitations in full view, not masked by team-managed expectations. This is no longer about points. It's about making a statement, adding fuel to the fire audio from recent team radio sessions. Some unreleased publicly reveal rising frustration in Hamilton's tone. One insider called it the sound of a driver preparing to burn political capital to force change. In Montreal, every lap, every setup, tweak, every radio message will carry a second meaning. Hamilton's battle is now as much with Ferrari's leadership as with its rivals, and the cameras won't show you the real fight, but we will. If you think Montreal will be just another race, think again. Inside Ferrari, battle lines are now drawn. Vasseur clings to his narrative of progress. Leclerc positions himself as the loyal soldier engineers whisper of a car beyond salvation. And Hamilton, he enters Montreal ready to defy the system from within. This Grand Prix will be more than a fight for points. It will be a coded war played out in tire choices, sector times, radio messages. Watch closely. If Hamilton sacrifices pure race pace to expose the SF25's flaws, it won't be by accident. If the clerk's side of the garage pushes a different setup story, it won't be coincidence. The cameras will focus on lap charts, but the real story will unfold in the paddock corridors, the engineering briefings, the cold stares across the garage. A team in civil war can't hide forever, and if you believe the truth from inside the paddock deserves to be told, join us, because this fight for Ferrari's soul is just beginning, and the official broadcast won't dare show you what comes next. A redefinition of how the power unit itself behaves under pressure. A series of updates buried deep inside the SF25's brain, designed not just to protect reliability, but to empower Lewis Hamilton when it matters most. They brought Hamilton to Maranello for moments of brilliance, for Sunday miracles, for leadership forged in fire. And for the first time, the team is beginning to act like they understand that they're no longer just managing a car. They're managing a legacy. They're managing expectation. They're managing Lewis Hamilton. Because when you have a driver of that caliber sitting in your cockpit, you don't settle for survival. You chase greatness. But here's the twist. This story is still wide open. These upgrades may unlock a more consistent, more powerful SF25, or they may fall short, exposing deeper flaws within Ferrari's 2025 architecture. One thing's for sure, the pressure has never been higher. The clock is ticking, and Austria, Silverstone, Spa. They'll all reveal whether these invisible fixes are enough to turn Hamilton from a frustrated figure into a roaring threat. Until then, we're watching a project in motion, a team in transition, a legend trying to write his final chapter in red, and a machine that piece by piece might just be waking up to meet him. And if you've enjoyed this deep dive into the world of Ferrari, Hamilton, and the silent engineering war happening beneath the surface, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single update. Let us know in the comments. Do you believe these hidden engine updates will finally give Hamilton the car he deserves? Or are we witnessing the start of something even bigger? A silent transformation inside Maranello that could reshape the entire team. Whatever happens next, one thing is clear. Ferrari can't afford to fail quietly ever again.